You have 60 seconds to decide, Elena. Walk out that door and watch the bank seize your father's life support. Or sign this marriage license and become the most hated woman in America. Elena looked at the gold pen in Silas Vane's hand. He wasn't a savior. He was the architect of her misery. What do you get out of this, Silas? A wife or a prisoner? Silas stepped closer, smelling of sandalwood and cold rain. In this world, there's no difference. Tick-tock, Elena. Choose your cage. Elena signed. Her hand shook so hard the ink smeared. She didn't know then that she wasn't just signing a contract. She was stepping into a den of lions. The first 3 months were a psychological battlefield. Silas stripped her of her old life. He replaced her worn jeans with silk dresses and her freedom with a 5 a.m. schedule. Every morning, he quizzed her on the scandals of the elite. If you trip over a name, he warned, they'll smell the poverty on you. And once they smell blood, they never stop biting. Their first public appearance was a charity auction in the Hamptons. Elena felt like an imposter in a gown that cost more than her father's house. A group of socialites cornered her, their smiles as sharp as glass. So, Elena, which branch of the DuPonts are you from? One asked, searching for a flaw. Elena froze. She looked at Silas. He was leaning against a pillar, watching her with an unreadable expression. He didn't move. He didn't intervene. He let her drown. When they got into the limousine that night, Elena erupted. You saw what they were doing. Why didn't you say something? Because I won't always be there, Silas said, his voice cold. You're worth $2 million to me, Elena. Act like it. Tomorrow, you start training with my head of security. If you can't defend yourself with your words, you'll learn to do it with your mind. By mid-year, the tough love turned into a dark bond. Silas began taking Elena into his private study late at night. Not for romance, but for war. He showed her the digital ledgers of the men who had destroyed his family. We aren't just clearing your father's bills, Silas whispered. We are bankrupting the men who think they own this city. You are the distraction. While they watch you, I'm cutting their throats from underneath. Elena discovered a natural instinct for the game. She was the one who found the offshore accounts Sterling used to hide stolen funds. Silas began to look at her not as an acquisition, but as an equal. The tension broke one rainy night in the library. Silas reached out to correct her posture, but his hand lingered. You're becoming dangerous, Elena, he murmured. Is that a rule violation? She challenged. It's a complication I didn't account for, he replied, before his mouth crashed onto hers. It was a collision of two people who had spent too long fighting the world alone. As the one-year mark approached, their rival, Sterling, leaked photos of Elena's past to tank Silas's merger. Instead of hiding, Elena walked into the board meeting wearing her old work blazer. She laid out the evidence of fraud and annihilated Sterling's reputation in 30 minutes. That night, Silas handed her a folder. The debt was cleared. The year is up, Elena. You can walk away. But as she was about to speak, the elevator hissed open. Juliana, Silas's presumed dead wife, stepped out with a cold smile and a legal claim to the fortune. Juliana tried to frame Silas as a kidnapper, but Elena was ready. Using the tactical training Silas gave her, she tricked Juliana into confessing her crimes on a live feed. The empire fell and the billions vanished, but Elena didn't leave. She took Silas's hand as the sirens wailed outside. "You taught me how to be a weapon," she said. "Now let me teach you how to be happy." They left Manhattan behind, trading a house of ghosts for a love proven in the dark. The peace of the Maine coast was a lie. While the world believed Silas Vane had retired, the shadows were crawling back. Elena noticed it first. It wasn't in what Silas said, but in the way he stood by the window at 3 a.m., watching the tree line as if expecting an army. The second month of their freedom began with a chilling delivery. A small wooden box containing a single charred chess piece, a white queen. It was the signature of the syndicate, the shadow bank that had built Silas's family before destroying it. "They don't want money, Elena," Silas whispered. "They want the data drive. It has the names of every senator and CEO they've bought for 30 years. As long as we have it, we are targets. If we give it to them, we're dead witnesses." When the power was cut, Silas didn't panic. He went into tactical mode. "Rule number 4, Elena," he said, handing her an obsidian blade. "Never trust the silence. If we're separated, head for the cove. Don't look back. Not even once." The syndicate sent their cleaner, a man known as the Ghost. While Silas led mercenaries on a high-speed chase through the woods, Elena was cornered in the cellar. But she wasn't the trembling girl he had met months ago. She remembered the nights Silas had forced her to study psychological warfare. In the pitch black, she didn't scream. She mimicked the voice of Juliana, Silas's ex, sowing enough doubt to make the mercenary lower his guard. In a blur of motion, she used the very tactics Silas had used to break her captor instead. When Silas returned, bloodied and breathless, he found Elena standing over a bound operative. "I told you to run," Silas said, his voice cracking with relief. "I'm done being an acquisition," Elena countered. "We don't run, Silas. We leak the data. All of it. Tonight." In a frantic race, they began uploading 30 years of syndicate corruption to every major news outlet. As the progress bar crawled toward 100%, the estate came under full siege. Flashbangs detonated and glass shattered. Silas looked at the woman he had once tried to lease and realized she was the only person who had ever truly owned him. "If we make it out of this," Silas shouted over the roar of a helicopter, "I'm taking you to Paris. No contracts. Just a man who is sorry he was ever an ice king." The revelation that the syndicate was still watching them in Italy didn't just break the peace. It shattered their trust in everything they had built. Silas knew the man in the black suit. He was a shadow hunter, a man who only surfaced when the kill was guaranteed. But the real blow came not from a bullet, but from a file the man left on their cafe table before vanishing into the crowded streets of Positano. Silas opened the folder, and his blood turned to ice. Inside were photos of Elena's father, the sick judge, standing in a high-security facility in Switzerland. He wasn't in a hospital bed. He was sitting at a mahogany desk, signing the very documents that had authorized the debt collection on his own daughter. "Elena," Silas said, his voice barely a whisper, "your father didn't just owe the debt. He created the trap. He sold you to me to test if I was weak enough to fall for a distraction. You weren't the debt, Elena. You were the bait." The drama shifted into high gear as Elena realized her entire life of struggle had been a calculated play by the man she loved most. Her father wasn't a victim of the syndicate. He was its architect. The Grand Master Silas had been hunting for a decade. They flew back to the US under the cover of night, using a private airstrip in New Jersey. This wasn't a mission for justice anymore. It was a mission for blood. Silas watched Elena transform. The sunshine was gone, replaced by a cold, calculating fury that even mirrored his own. "Rule number 5, Elena said, checking the magazine of her weapon as they approached the syndicate's mountain retreat in the Appalachians. When someone uses your heart as a weapon, you take theirs." The final confrontation happened in a glass-walled library overlooking a cliffside, a mirror image of the penthouse where their journey began. Elena walked in alone, finding her father sitting calmly by a fireplace. "You look well, Elena," the judge said, not looking up from his book. "Silas did a marvelous job. You have the posture of a queen and the eyes of a killer. You're finally ready to inherit the empire." "I didn't come for an inheritance," Elena said, her voice like a razor. "I came to settle the bill." Silas emerged from the shadows, his weapon aimed at the man who had ruined his family. The judge laughed. "Go ahead, Silas. Kill me. But the moment my heart stops, the dead man's switch activates. Every asset Elena's father has ever touched, the trust fund, the medical records, the offshore accounts in her name, will be flagged for international terrorism. You'll save her life, but you'll make her a fugitive for the rest of it." The tension was unbearable. Silas looked at Elena. He had spent his life choosing power over people, but now he faced the ultimate choice: kill the villain and ruin the woman he loved, or let the villain walk and live in a cage of secrets forever. "I'm not a line item anymore, Dad," Elena whispered. She didn't look at Silas. She looked at the server tower humming in the corner, the heart of her father's power. She didn't shoot her father. She shot the server. The room went dark as the cooling systems failed. The judge screamed, realizing his life's work, the data, the leverage, the control, was melting into silicon slag. In the chaos, Silas tackled the judge, but Elena stopped him. "Don't," she said. "He's not worth the prison time. Look at him." The judge was a broken man, weeping over a pile of burning tech. He had lost the only thing he ever loved: his control. The story concludes 6 months later. There are no more secret files, no more hidden wives, and no more debts. Silas and Elena are in a small town in Middle America, running a simple consulting firm. They aren't billionaires, but they own their names. As they sit on their porch watching the sunset, Silas looks at the plain gold band on Elena's finger. "No diamonds?" he teased. "I could probably find a few million in an old account if you're missing the sparkle." Elena leaned her head on his shoulder. "The only thing I want to own, Silas, is tomorrow. And I think we finally paid that off in full." The Ice King and the debtor were gone. In their place were 2 people who had survived the darkest billionaire love story ever told, proving that the only way to truly win the game of power is to stop playing it.